Hello everyone, xHedra here bringing you episode 9 of Astropolis, a Modpack by benbenlaw. So, in the last episode, I shamefully, stupidly died, but ignoring that, I continued with my base expansion and look at this. So many new molecular assembler, all accelerated, all empty because I have nothing to put in there. 8 crafting setup, I put everything there and automated all of these nice little beautiful machine. So basically I've automated compressing, enriching, and basically if you look at this, I now have patterns for everything. And I have these, so I want to show you one quick thing about these setup. So for these machines, they need the enriched redstone in here, right? So what I did is up here, I put an export bus with a crafting card to export enriched redstone. So whenever one gets consumed, it's going to come here and ask for an enriched redstone like this. And once the enriched redstone comes back, it's going to put it in here. And in here we have all the enriched diamond, and in here we have all the enriched obsidian. And as you can see, this one's not full. This one's not full because it's long to produce. See, this is going to do this. Now it's going to go back in here to get enriched. Once it's enriched, it's going to come back in here and become number 29. So this is something that runs in the background, and at some point it's going 29. It's going to be stabilized and everything's going to be full. It's one at a time though, which is annoying. But you know, one thing that you can do to bypass that is that if you get annoyed and you're like, oh, this is taking forever, you come here and you say enriched and you say these, give me 30 and send it. So that's going to, instead of sending one job at a time, because the crafting can only export one at a time. So now see, because I sent 30, it sent like a lot all at the time, and see, it's 4, it's to the 4. So it's sending all of those, then it's sending all of them over to the diamond place, and the diamond place is processing all of them at the same time, and then they come all back in here. So that's one way of accelerating the start process. After, you never use enough that it really matters. Okay, the other thing I did is, well, I started closing in the base a lot more, as you can see. The reason I died here is that I started flying and I replaced these with HV wire. HV wire provides a lot more power. So I hit it once and boom, insta die, I think. So let me just do, I'll remove the waypoint manager later. Then I also went ahead and made an island there, which I believe is far enough. I think I counted like 3 chunks, but I put it there because once we do the fusion reactor, I don't want this to blow up in my face. Now, what's going to make all of this much easier though is wireless power, which means we're getting into the crux of today's episode. So if I come back here, we have the serious power and the wireless power. We're going to start with the wireless power. So first we need flux dust, the base of Flux Network. So we're going to come over here and we're going to do that. So flux, so we need flux dust, and I'm going to use emerald because it's just easier for me that way. And as you can see, these are craftable. I have no way of making coal dust though, which means I need to craft a recipe for coal dust. So I'll use the crusher, which is way easier, and beautifully, look at this. If I come over here, well, advanced compressing factory, advanced infusing factory, advanced enriching, oh, advanced crushing. So I want to put the coal dust in the crushing factory, and I'm going to put the this pattern into a molecular assembler. So now I can come over here and say, well, let's not exaggerate, say, give me 64 of these. Start. While this is processing, we're going to go to the next level. Once you have flux dust, the next thing you want to do is flux cores. Flux cores are made from flux dust, obsidian, and eye of ender. So we'll just do that, but we also need to have a recipe for eye of enders, and we're going to go down and put those right in here. So 1 and 1. And so now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to ask 20 of these. Ooh, I don't have any blaze powder. You know what? I Let me check. Oh, it's the crusher. I don't want to use the crusher. I should use the... You know what? I'm going to cheat that part in. I don't want to really have to deal with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stack of blaze rod and I'm going to come over here and put them so that they get thrown in the crusher. And that's going to give me a base start for all of this. Great. So now I can say flux and say, give me 10 of those flux thing. Now I can grab a flux dust for the quest, a flux core for the quest. And if I go back to the quest, now we need flux plug, flux point, and basic flux storage. So flux plug right here. Oh, but I need flux blocks. So I need a recipe for that. I need flux plug, flux point, and I need a basic flux storage. And I need a flux controller. I know we're going to need to make a flux controller. So let's do this. So now that I've done this, I'm going to go and add all of these in here like so. 1, 2, 3. These I can put on the same. We're so rarely use them that they will never really interfere with each other. We can even put this one right here. So now if I go back to the quest line, we want a flux plug and a flux point. Well, I need 2 flux plug. So I'm going to make 2. And I'm going to grab these 2. And the flux point, I just want 10. I know that I'm going to need a lot to plug whatever I want, wherever I want. So let's just make 10 right now. And then I'm going to make a basic flux storage. And that's a bit more involved and going to take a little bit longer. So this. I can also make the flux controller now. So I'm just going to wait for this to complete. Just giving it a moment. Oh, it's done. Perfect. So now we only need a flux controller. And we didn't really need to make a recipe for the flux controller because we're never going to make more than one. But it's one of those things where it's just easier. Now I'm letting this whole complicated thing craft itself in the back end. And I'm really not caring. I'm just getting ready for the next step. Which should be any time this month, please. Oh, this is a bit more involved than I thought it would be. You know what? What's my blaze powder situation? Blaze. Oh, 242. I'm good. And we have the flux controller, which means quest line done. Let's throw all of that back in. Okay, so now I'm going to take the flux controller. I'm just going to put it here for now. And the flux storage, just put it here now. We need to create a network. We're going to call it xHedra Gaming. Perfect. I like it green and I want it private, so I don't need to put a password. Create. And now here I choose the one that I want. Power surge, bypass limit, chunk loading. Thank you. And oh, this is beautiful. I want to put armor slot, curio slot, and hotbar slot all to charge. Turn the wireless and apply. So now technically, if I come here and I bring you to this should be charging. Oh no, because there's no power in the system. For the battery, I'm going to attach it to the same network, same thing. So now I need to power everything. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this out right here. And I'm going to take this out right there. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put this right over here. Then I'm going to go inside. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to put the flux plug right here. So I'm going to set that to this network, do all of this, and I'm going to call this one Power Cube 1 so that I know what's coming from where. Then this is no longer getting any power, right? So this is slowly going down. Nope, nope, we won't let it go down. We're just going to put this right here. We're going to connect this, and this one I'm going to connect, I'm going to call it the refined storage. No, applied energistic. So technically, it's not just applied energistic because it's also feeding the farm. But for now, that's good enough. Then back here, I'm going to do the same thing, just a bit more aggressive. So first off, I'm going to make sure that my magnet's turned on because I want to grab this, and this, and this, and this. Perfect. So if I come back here, I grabbed everything that was power related. So now I can turn this back off and take all of this. Nope, I'm still missing one second, this and this. These I'm going to throw back in like so. And then I'm going to bring the second cube. Whew. For 1 second, there was a mild 1 second panic in me. So I'm going to take this and bring it over here, right next to it. I'm going to go into it. And I'm going to do the same thing with the power setup. So I'm going to go right here and put another flux plug right here, connect it to the network. And I'm going to call this one power block 2. Is that what I called it? I called it what? I called it power cube 1. So power cube 2. And I want to set this to power surge, bypass limit, chunk loading. So you see exactly how much it's providing per tick. 300 and something FE per tick. I'm also going to now take these two gravity generator, put one right here, and one right here, I guess. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of this setup that I just did, but I'm just going to go like this. And then I'm going to configure this to extract and this to extract. And I'm going to disconnect this. Perfect. Great. So now I can get out of here. So all of my power generation is in these two cubes. Okay. So now, technically, I'm no longer providing this point with power. So this right here, I need to give it power. So I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to call this one loading, blah, blah, blah. Just give me a second. So not this, all this on. This one, I'm going to call it immersive engineering. Okay. And in my time lapse, I'm going to separate this a bit more. What I mean by that is I'm going to set this one on one point. I'm going to set the arc furnace on its own point, and I'm going to set the crusher on its own point so that I know which one are using what power, because this is the beauty of this system. The reason I love this is if I come here and look, I can see what's doing what. I can see that immersive engineering's burning 300 or 400 FE per tick. That applied energistic is burning 800 or 900 per tick. And my power cube are generating 400, 300, whatever's needed to go into the system. It's probably able to make more than that, but since I don't have a place to charge, we're not getting the maximum that we can. Now, the beauty of that is I'm now going to reset up this system. So right here, I'm going to put the two, I'm going to put the two simulation chamber. I'm going to put this one on the Enderman, this one on the Blaze. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up power like so. A flux point right here. So now I need to extract from here. And just to make it easier on this one, I'm going to put an improved pipe upgrade, because these require 512 each. Now we're going to connect this to the system, and I'm going to name this Mob Farm. And now these are filling, and as you can see, this is maximum 8,000 FE per tick. So if I look at my system, I'm getting, oh, now less because one of the two must be full. Yeah. Oh, they're both full. Ow. This went really much faster than I thought it would. Great, great, great. So now I'm going to put another one from the top that I'm going to connect. And then I'm going to put the loot fabricator. And now I need some item pipes. And I'm going to go item pipe, like this. And I'm going to say extract and extract. So everything should now go in the loot fabricator. And technically I can put that now. And I'm going to have to reconfigure that I want ender pearls. I figure that at some point, if I want the other one, these one, I'll just go and switch it at that moment. Perfect. So now while I'm waiting, I'm going to need some, what was it called again? Prediction matrix? Yeah. So give me another 128 of those. Should be almost instant. Oh, love my crafting system. While we're here, let's get rid of those. And now I can go this in here, and okay. So now I'm going to technically need to re-import back in my ME system, but it's not the end of the world. I'll just check it once in a while. So now this one made one and it succeeded. So 33, just want 32, 31. Is there a new one coming in? 30. Come on. Are you not providing new one? Yeah. Okay, I think they come in and are used so fast that I don't see it go up. And this one's been making some or not. Yeah, I guess it made 2 and both failed. This one succeeded. So if it succeeded, I should have a blaze prediction. And the blaze prediction is not leaving because it has no place to go. So when this is caught up, the other one is going to start going in. So for the time being, let's just push that in our system because we need ender pearl like crazy. Let's put that in here, and I don't need to go in these machines for now. So in my time lapse, I'm also probably going to move all of these machines to put them against a wall and put the power so that I know how much power my farms are using. So if I'm looking at this and looking at this, this is almost run true. And once it's run true and it goes empty, then it's going to let these blaze prediction go in. Model accuracy superior 70, 70. The two, wow, because you have to understand that they continue going up. This machine updates it. It says data per kill 18, but that's not true. It's only going to go up 1 because I didn't kill them manually. I think that manually would have given me 18, but when using the machine, it's always just 1. So technically, we're going to want to export prediction model to these two things. We're going to want to import the predictions, and we're going to want to import everything that's here. See, oh, we're almost done. So I'm going to stay one moment. 2, pretty soon we should be done. And we'll see the blaze prediction go in. And the moment, yeah, here you go. Now I can select blaze rod and let these just go and do their job. Whew. Okay, so now we're ready for step 2. Power is taken care of. Well, it's taken care of. Power is being distributed in a more convenient manner. But now we need to get into serious power. So we need to do this whole setup. And this whole setup is going to require a couple of machines. So I'm going to put the list right here. We're going to need 1 electrolytic separator, 2 chemical oxidizer, 1 chemical dissolution chamber, 3 chemical infuser, 1 rotary condensator, and 1 tier 1 crafter, 1 enrichment chamber, 1 pressurized reaction chamber, or PRC for short, 1 isotopic centrifuge, and we're going to need a water source of some kind. So I named you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 machines, 10, 11. So I need 11 machines, so I'm going to need 11 steel casing. So if I go right here, I already have 1. So I'm going to say make 10 more, start, and hopefully that's going to be fast because we have a lot of steel yet still. We don't have a lot of steel left, but we still have a good quantity. And now we can just do these machines. So I'm going to go electrolytic separator right here. So I'm going to need an electrolytic core, which is gold dust, osmium, and iron dust. So dust, gold dust. Do I have osmium dust? No. So you know what? Osmium, I'm just going to grab a little bit and go put them in the crusher down there. So crusher is right here. Just crush this. And I need some iron crushed also. So let's grab some iron. Half a stack of iron. And you know what? Let's do the same with the gold. Gold, half a stack of gold. -1 because we already did one. Then do this and do this. Like so. This is better split. Great. So now we should be able to go back upstairs and continue with our crafting. I should have everything to do my electrolytic something. Electrolytic core right here should be able to. What? Oh, wow. Alloy? Yeah, I need a lot of those. So let's just send up a bunch because I don't want this to be another problem. Electrolytic. Can I now do this? No. Just waiting for one more. Perfect. Put that in here. And then electrolytic separator. What? Oh, right, wrong one. Perfect. So we've got the electrolytic separator. Now let's look at chemical oxidizer. Right here. Ooh, this is more complicated. We need some basic chemical tank. So let's make 2 of those. Oh, we just needed one. We need 1 personal chest. Oh, come on. Controller. Yeah. So let's ask for a couple of these. Oh boy. So I didn't prepare enough of the material. While we're waiting for this to get prepared, can I do the rotary condensator? Rotary condensator. Nope. Can I make an energy tablet? Yes, perfect. Now can I make a rotary condensator? Nope, because I need tanks. Perfect. Let's make 2 of those. So let's look at chemical infuser then. Chemical infuser. Oh, I'm going to need a lot more tank. You know what? Yeah. Let's just do this. So I need a chemical infuser. I need a chemical oxidizer. These machines are so annoying to make. This is probably the best call possible. Perfect. What else do we need? We need a rotary. So chemical rotary right here. Perfect. This, and you know what? I'm going to make this. I'm going to automate this tank also. And what's the other thing I need to automate? I'm going to automate the energy tablet. I don't know if I need it, but at this point, I don't want to have any more problem. Enrichment chamber. I should probably have also automated this. I'm going to automate it now. I'm going to need some pattern. So let's go pattern. Okay, that's way too many, but no problem, no problem. Next step is going to be the pressurized reaction chamber, which needs an enrichment chamber, so it's a good thing, and a dynamic tank. So that was a good call. So let's also make this. Let's put all of these in the new assembler that I've made. This is amazing. I'm really happy that I prepared this. Right here, and right here, and right here. Perfect. So now if I come back here, I'm still crafting so much stuff. You know what? Let's do the water source. Water. I'm going to need this water source. Oh, this one's the one that wasn't automating itself, right? Yeah, so let's not bother with that. So let's just do, can I do this? Nope. Machinist, I'm gonna need 4 of you. Perfect. So now if I go back to water, where's my water? I'm gonna make some, I'm gonna grab some buckets first. Bucket. No, no buckets. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'm just gonna make more buckets. Give me a second and I'll go fill those up. Where's my perfect? We're just going to go in any of the farm and I'm just going to fill those up. Yeah, I don't want you there anymore. Perfect. Let's go out. And let's continue. So water gen, that's what we were doing. Water gen, let me grab that. Water source. So we need 2 water core. 1 and 2. And then we can do this. Oh. We're going to go downstairs and I'm just going to put those in that furnace right there. Oh, that was something that's already automated. Derp. Okay. See, it's just the water source is not something that automates well, unfortunately. So now let me search for smooth stone. I'm just waiting for a 4th one and voila. Okay, so that's a water source. Now, the problem is that this water source is not going to be enough for what we needed. Upgrade. So we want to make the water source upgrades. The water source upgrades are these. So I want, oof, almost made a mistake. Plank. So I need more of these. Huh? Wait. Upgrade. What? Oh, it's old plank that I need. Darn it. Old. What was the recipe for? Oh, I've got some here. Nope, I've got some here. So let's just use the old industrial plank right here. Ah, this one? Yeah. So let's do 2 iron upgrades. And we can search for upgrade again. And we need the next level of upgrade, which is going to be the gold upgrade. Then we need the diamond upgrade. And the netherite upgrades are just 2 more diamond upgrades with 2 netherite ingot. So if I come here, netherite, grab 2 of you, 1, 2, and I'm going to come right over here and do these 2. Perfect. So I'm going to show you how this works. Put it down, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one right here. So upgrade to tier 2, upgrade to tier 3, upgrade to tier 4, and upgrade to tier 5, which is 32 bucket. But honestly, the biggest advantage is not the 32 bucket. It's more the speed at which you can pipe water out of this. So let's come back right here. And technically, we should now be able to make our machine. So we already have our electrolytic separator. So the next thing we needed was a chemical dissolution chamber, which we didn't create. So 3 chemical infuser. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Then we need how many chemical oxidizer? 2. So let's make 2 of these. 3 and 2. Well, great. Perfect. Rotary. Did I make the recipe for rotary? Yes. 1. Perfect. What else do I need? So 2 chemical oxidizer, 1 electrolytic, chemical dissolution chamber. So let's go and make the pattern for that. So dissolution chamber. Oof. Okay, that one was a really good call to make a recipe for, because that one's going to take forever. Let's put it right here and say one of those. Yeah, you hear it working in the background. So rotary. So I'm going to need more crafter. So let's make a recipe for crafter. So tier 1 crafter is like this, which means I already have recipe for these 2 things. I need a recipe for the machine frame. Perfect. Not perfect because I don't have a recipe for the old wood plank. You know what? That one's a good one. We're going to make a recipe for the old industrial plank. This is how you make the old industrial plank, okay? So now I'm going to need plank these. Perfect. Well, no, sorry. Let's just go back here. I'm going to show you how to automate this machine. So now I put this right here. And if I go back over here, I'm going to say, I want 10 of the, 10 of those. So it's going to send 16. It's going to make 16 with 16 treated and 2 of these. So now I wait for these to come in. I intercept one and I go and I say, you need to export the coal coke right here. Then I take one of these and I click this and I say, you need to put the treated wood plank on this side. And if you look at it, they beautifully go each on the right side, and we've already automated this. So unfortunately, this is kind of a 2-step process, but there's always a step to arrange yourself so that things work. So let's put that in here. And now let's go back to my dissolution. Oh, ready. Perfect. So now I need a crafter, and I only need a crafter tier 1. So I'm not going to bother making the other level until I actually need them. So now I need an enrichment chamber right here. Perfect. And crafter enrichment, pressurized reaction chamber, pressurized right here. I need one of these. Then what's the next thing? I need an isotopic centrifuge. I don't know if I can craft that outright. I don't want to make a recipe for this. So I need ultimate control circuit. So ultimate. And then tank. Tank right here. We're just waiting for the 2 ultimate. Perfect. Boom and boom. And the last thing that we need is a radioactive waste barrel. Right here. Like so. Perfect. We're ready. We have everything. So we're going to start in this corner here. And you're going to see, I'm going to build this a way that I've never, ever built it before. So basically, it wants us to make a chemical oxidizer, which we did. And it wants us to make uranium oxide. So it's all of these machines in a row, but let's start from the end. So we want to turn the uranium hexafluoride into fissile fuel. So we need to turn uranium hexafluoride into fissile fuel. But if I go back, I need to chemically infuse uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid. So I'm going to go on this side quickly. So on this side, we need a chemical oxidizer with yellow cake uranium, and yellow cake uranium is enriching uranium. So that's super simple. That's going to be the simple side. Now, if we go toward the difficult side, let me go like that. We need to make hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluoric acid is made in a chemical dissolution chamber with fluorite and sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is in a chemical infuser with water vapor and sulfur trioxide. So sulfur trioxide is in a chemical infuser with sulfur dioxide and oxygen. So oxygen is one step away from the chemical, the electrolyzer. Sulfur dioxide might be more complicated, so go look at this one. Sulfur dioxide is basically chemically oxidizing sulfur dust. And sulfur dust we get from crushing blaze rods. So right now we don't have a steady supply of that. And the salt gunpowder technique, no. The dirty sulfur, no. So basically, the way of making it that we're going to have constant making is with a pressurized reaction chamber with water and oxygen and charcoal and a block of coal. So we're going to start from this point. Okay, so the first thing we need technically is the electrolytic separator. So I'm going to put that down right here. And you know what? Just give me a second. I'm going to go right here and here. And we're going to send power with a flux point right here. And just like that. Now we need to set this to extract. And we're going to put an upgrade on that for sure. Wireless out of range. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Okay. Upgrade. Perfect. We're going to put that in there. We're going to connect this to our system. Great. No limit. And we're going to call that fissile fuel prod. That's going to be our fissile fuel prod setup. Okay, so the way the electrolytic separator works is that technically it takes in from the front. So what I'm going to do is I want to try to make the setup where you don't have multiple, I want to make the setup where you don't have tons of cables or tank or stuff like that. So now technically fluid is input from the front, and that unfortunately doesn't auto input. So I'm going to have to break this. And for this one, I'm going to need to put one. I want to put as little item pipe as possible. So let me grab a fluid pipe like so and do this. And oh God. Okay. So we're going to mute these machines as we go because heck no. So this one is the electrolytic separator. Bye-bye. Perfect. So it makes hydrogen on one side and oxygen on the other side. Perfect. If you remember, the sulfur dust needs to be made from in a pressurized reaction chamber with oxygen on one side. Perfect. So oxygen is right here. Pressurized reaction chamber is somewhere right here. Perfect. Now, this is the connection game that I'm not sure about, but we're going to start playing the connect the dot game. So if I do this, I believe, so this is the blue, this is the light blue. Perfect. Okay, so this one we're going to set so that you understand. Now this is blocked because there's too much hydrogen, but not enough oxygen. So we're going to say always be dumping the excess hydrogen so that at least it continues making oxygen. Then right here, if I look at the gases, the escape for cyan is on the right. So right here, if I'm looking at this, the escape is on the right. So this one, I have to look at it from the front. The oxygen is supposed to come in this one. So fluid, input. Oh, I know why it's not working. This one needs one little magic, auto eject on. Hello? Hey man, I thought that these were... Aren't those things supposed to auto input? Now, okay, so I'm going to be a bit annoyed. Do I need... I think I'm going to need to make these darn... Oh, I wanted... everything to connect without needing anything. That didn't work. Okay. So I'm going to make some pressurized tube. I thought for sure I was going to be able to get away with this, but doesn't seem to want to right now. So let's make some pressurized tubes. Pressurized tube. I'm pretty sure we're going to need some at some point anyway. So let's just make a little bit of those, and let's go back here and do this and this. Listen, buddy, you're going to have to accept, oh, it's a gas. Oh, this is output. Yeah, okay, so now it's working, but it's not ideal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the water input in. That one I'm going to force in the front, like so. And right here, oh, it's already accepting water. Perfect. So we have water and we have oxygen. Now, everything that's a solid input, I'm going to do from the top. So now what I'm going to do is, you know what? I'm going to start some smart cable. I'm going to need more smart cable. So cable, I already have 32 of those. I want to transform these 32 into the smart equivalent because it is so inexpensive for what it gives you. It's worth it. So let's do 32 like this, and let's just do another 100. Oh, maybe 50? Wow. It's not that there's no crafting CPU available, by the way. It's that the recipe is too complicated for the memory that it needs. So just make it lower then, and it's going to go through. Okay, so now I'm going to get right here. I'm going to say charcoal. I'm going to need to make a recipe for charcoal block. So charcoal block is made out of charcoal like that, which I'm going to put right here in the crafting recipe. And that's probably something that we're going to need to export. So I'm going to make 64 of those. Haha! No, because... Okay, I'm now going to teach the system how to make charcoal, which is the stupidest recipe ever, but still I need to teach it. So smelting, and let's just go here and say oak. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if I showed you, but I now have auto eating on my backpack. So that was the burp thing you heard. It was just my system just eating something. So I'm going to start this right here. Then I'm going to be able to come back over here and grab a charcoal block. Well, now that we can do this, I'm going to make 64. And I'm just going to grab those that I have. And go right here and put those in here. Perfect. So this is working. And this is now another machine that I'm going to shut down. Pressurized reaction chamber. Nope. Perfect. And this I'm going to try and set to extract from the back. So no. Input, output. Items config. Oh, I'm already in item config. So output is on the right. No, so now I'm going to change the output to be on the back. Output from the back. Perfect. So this is making the sulfur. Now it's also going to produce hydrogen. So I'm probably going to need to dump the hydrogen to something at some point. I'll get back to that later. So now I need a chemical dissolution chamber. Well, no, I need to do this to complete the quest. Range of different way, blah, blah, blah. Nope, I don't want the blaze rod. This is too complicated. Used to break down chemical item, chemical dissolution chamber. Perfect. So now I'm going to put a chemical dissolution chamber, if I can find it, right here. And put it like that, I believe. So this technically, where's the pigment, slurries, energy, gases, Where's the items? That doesn't make a lot of sulfuric acid. Okay, so 1 second. This is not good. Sulfuric acid. What's the best way? Oh, that's the long recipe. Darn it. Sulfuric dioxide. Chemical oxidizer. Nope, not the dissolution chamber. Sorry, guys. So, chemical oxidizer. So if I put it like this, well, first off, I'm going to need to connect power. Everything that I'm putting down, it's going to need power. And this is going to be receiving from the left. So items, input from the left, perfect. So here we just need to have auto eject on. Aha, and voila. So we're oxidizing, and of course, let's shut down the oxidizer. Not a bad sound though, but prefer not having it. Perfect. So now we're oxidizing, which is making sulfur dioxide. Still not a lot, but it's working. I'm going to come back here and grab a tank and some more charcoal. Now I'm going to grab a tank like this. So this is going to be my way of getting rid of that hydrogen that I don't want. So I'm going to put this one right here, and I'm going to say this is the blue. Oh, it already went in there, and this one dumping excess. So that's how I'm going to burn or destroy the hydrogen that I don't want. Perfect. So that's set to output here. So let's put some power right. Oh, let's put some power right here. And now let's check the next level. So now we need the yellow cake uranium, but let's go look at hydrofluoric acid. So hydrofluoric acid right here means I need sulfuric acid. Okay, so I need a couple of steps to get to this right here. So my sulfuric acid is going to be made from sulfur trioxide and a water vapor, but the sulfur trioxide is going to be made from sulfur dioxide and oxygen. So sulfur dioxide and oxygen. Sulfur trioxide. So like this. So nope, that's a chemical oxidizer. Wrong machine again. Which one is it? Hydraulic? Nope. Chemical infuser. Perfect. So chemical infuser like so. So it's getting the sulfur dioxide right here. And now it needs oxygen. And oxygen, unfortunately, is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the configuration. I'm going to say gas. I'm going to say input 1 from the front. And now I can put more basic pressurized tubes like so. Oh, another one that's really annoying. Perfect. So infuser, by this point, we're going to have everything silent and not long. So chemical infuser, perfect. So now this is getting sulfur dioxide from the right. It's getting oxygen from the front, just not super fast. We're going to have to make this machine way faster, but we'll make it faster later. This is giving us sulfur trioxide. And now sulfur trioxide needs to go into another chemical infuser with water vapor this time. So we're going to put another chemical infuser right here with, of course, a power cable. And so this is going to, we need to set this one to auto output. Okay, 1 second. What, I don't know what's the front of this machine now. Now I'm a bit confused. So this is the front. So we want to output the purple on the left. So gases, output left. Haha, yes, we got it. So now I need to bring right here, I'm going to need bring some water vapor. Now this is where it gets a bit dirty. So water vapor needs a rotary condensator. I'm going to do this and put a rotary condensator right here. And this needs to have water. So now we're going to do a very, very ugly setup where we're going to bring water up. And just to make sure that it's not too much in the way, we're going to go like this. And in line, perfect. Great. Well, great. It's still becoming a spaghetti mesh, but it's working. Okay, so let's go and take that out. And this should be receiving water from the right. Hello? What am I missing? I'm extracting water from here. This is supposed to be receiving, oh, fluid. From the right. Oh my God, please. Okay, oxygen, no. Steam, no. I need something with water. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I was missing it. It's condensator, not decondensating. So this is taking water and making water vapor. That goes directly in here, and we're now making our first sulfuric acid. Perfect. Let's eliminate the rotary now, because that's too noisy. Rotary. Ha, great. So if I come back here, we now have... Nope, not here. We now have sulfuric acid. So we now have what we said we were going to make right here. Okay, so now we're going to need our first yellow cake uranium. And the yellow cake uranium needs an enrichment chamber. And then it's going to go into a chemical oxidizer to make uranium oxide, which is going to make, is that hydrofluoric acid? No, that's sulfuric acid. Okay, so let me just check sulfuric acid. No, hydrofluoric acid needs a chemical dissolution chamber now. Let's do this and this. And now we need a chemical oxidizer like so. Okay, so now this one needs to input gas. Gases. No, sorry, wrong machine. Wow, I'm always putting down the wrong machine. Which one? You know what? Let's just find out. I always forget. So we need, the fluorite is going to be used in a chemical dissolution chamber. That's finally the one machine that I've been putting in the wrong place every time. Like so. And I don't want you connecting there. So I'm going to need my configurator right here. Like this. Perfect. So this needs to receive input of gas from the left. Oh, this one's probably not set to export from the back. So we're going to say gas output from the back. Haha, yes. And now this one needs the fluorite. Okay, so this one is a bit more complicated. What we're going to do is we're going to be making our own fluorite. But to make fluorite, we need to craft it with yellow cake uranium and nether quartz. So that's where the crafter comes into play. I'm going to need the crafter right here. And we're going to go from above. So I'm going to need an item pipe like this. And then I'm going to go with... Oh, wow. I'm just misclicking everything. So let's put a crafter on the top right here. And now we're going to get some... Oh, I don't have yellow cake uranium yet. So I still need to make the yellow cake uranium. Okay, so let's assume that this is now making the hydrofluoric acid. The hydrofluoric acid needs to go on the left of a chemical infuser. So this on the left of a chemical infuser, like this. And the chemical infuser needs to receive the oxidizing. So let's just put that power and an oxidizer like this. And nope, that didn't place it the right way that I wanted. Like this, perfect. And this is going to receive the yellow uranium cake. And this one is made in the enrichment chamber. So I'm going to go like this because this one needs to have two outputs. So like this and like this. Enrichment chamber, and then we're going to go item pipe like this. And here. And voila. Perfect. So now this machine is going to need to receive the uranium. So let's come back over here and grab a stack of uranium. We're going to have to auto export with the applied energistic, but put it in here. And also, you know what? Let's also stop this one. So this is the the enrichment. And we're going to also improve this enrichment chamber. Right now, I just want it to start. And this should already be receiving stuff. Why is it not receiving stuff? Oh, this is worrisome. Why are you not receiving items? Oh, I still need to configure this one to be output on the left. And voila. So this is being grabbed and it went into this machine, but I want some in this machine. I'm going to also need some quartz. So let's come over here and say quartz. I'm going to grab 5 stack. And what I want to do is this. And remember. And remember. Perfect. So now we can make the recipe, which is going to be like this and like this, which is going to make fluorite. And we're going to apply this. Throw all of that in here. And perfect. So you know what? For 1 second, I'm going to disconnect this because this is making the uranium oxide that's going in here. And I just need to get 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's got no power. Okay, so we're going to resolve the power issue just by putting another flux point right here. Not ideal, but this is okay for now. I just need to get this started. We're going to call this one fluorite. Crafting. Perfect. And yeah, so now it's got fluorite and we can go like this and it's getting, oh, great. Let's break these two and go in here. And this is now making fluorite, which is transforming the fluoric acid into the next one, into the hydrofluoric acid with the uranium oxide, which is making uranium hexafluoride. And now we can go break this with this and put an isotropic centrifuge, which is getting uranium and making fissile fuel. And for now, we're going to put the fissile fuel into a radioactive barrel so that it doesn't break. And I'm just going to need to set this to gases, output front, auto eject. Oh, no. Oh, that's okay. That's not going to work. I'm being just super dumb. Turn it on. And these input from the top, unfortunately. I broke too much, so let's just do this. And then basic pressurized 2. And voila. Let's just configure this. And fissile fuel. Done. I'm also going to stop the isotopic, so just give me a second. Voila. Okay, so now we need to reactivate insertion in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an upgrade like this. Because with this upgrade in here, I'm going to be able to set that to round robin. So I'm going to get one in here and then one in here so that I make sure that at least I'm getting in both places. This I'm going to make faster, but now I just need, so just so you know, in my time lapse, I'm going to bring a cable down here, and you know what? Just give me a second. I'm not going to put the cable, but I'm going to need some exporters. Exporter. I'm going to need 3, I believe. Hello? Oh, these are taking a while. So while we're waiting, I'll get some nether quartz like this. And then I'll get some uranium like this. And give me my export bus. Wait a second, guys. What is this doing right here? Well, by the time I went downstairs to go see what was going on, I guess they all finished. So if I come over here and I say export, yeah, they're all made. Come on. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to have some cables coming over here, and I'm going to have one on top right here. I'm going to have one in the back right here, one in the back right here. This one's going to be to export this. This one's going to be to export that. So this is constantly going to be filling this. This is constantly going to be filling that. What else do I need? There was something else that needed. Oh, okay. So, and this needs right here. This is going to need to be charcoal. So let me come back right here and say charcoal block. Just start some more because we're going to need more. So this one right here is going to be, and this one, so this one's going to be set with a crafting card, okay? So that it auto crafts, so that it always bring that right here. And voila. So now the whole thing is automated. So we're electrolytically separating oxygen to fill these machine, this one and this one. This one is making sulfur that's going into the chemical oxidizer. Then it goes into the chemical infuser with the oxygen to make the other liquid that I don't remember, which goes in here with water vapor. And it's just, oh, see, this one's full of hydrofluoric acid. It's just this one's not consuming it fast enough. Why did you stop? Or did you not? No, okay, so this one, sorry. It looks like it stopped, but it didn't stop because if I look in here, it's filling this. It's filling it faster than it's using it. So basically this is going to get full. And once this is going to get full, this is going to get full. Once this gets full, the uranium oxide is going to get full, and like everything's going to backfill. And right now this is like the problem. But until I have the export set, it's not going to work. Wow, we already have 5 buckets of fissile fuel. Whew, okay, so we have the power being produced, and now I'm going to just, one last thing, I'm going to show you. So this is done. Oh, I'm going to need one of them to prove that it's done. Let's do this. And let's grab whatever goes near. I'm going to grab an intercept because I won't. Yeah. I need one. Oh, perfect. I've got fluorite. Great. So that's that quest. So now I can reset this right here. And put the fluorite. Oh, there was some in here. I could have just done that. Okay. So perfect. Yellow cake, uranium done. Fluorite done. Hydrofluoric acid done. I don't want to grab my chemical infuser. So what I'm going to do is build another one because I don't want to unset everything that I've done. Chemical infuser. Just give me one. Oh. Okay, now it's done. We have uranium. We have the isotopic centrifuge, which I am not picking up. So isotopic, that's a little detail that I completely forgot, unfortunately. So those are control circuit. So I need 2 of those. So this is a bit of a waste, but it is what it is. So what is it called? A tank. So tank right here, these right there, and doing this, I think we're going to use it for something else, so it's not the end of the world. So now we've done all of this side, which is producing the fuel. Now we're going to need to start using the fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a 9x9x9 fission reactor. So we're going to need fission reactor casing. So if I come right over here and I say fission reactor casing, that's why I want this right now. I want this pattern right now because this is expensive. Okay, so now that we have fission reactor casing, I can just start 10. Great. And the next step, the next step is to actually grab them, put them in my inventory, which unlock this. Now we want some reactor glass, which is not that bad. So we're going to do reactor glass now, reactor glass right here. And the reactor glass needs enriched iron. So that's a bit more complicated, but I've already set up the recipe. I'm going to show you in one moment. I'm just going to start it. So reactor glass, I'm going to say, give me 1. So reactor glass basically needs 4 lead ingot, a normal glass, and enriched iron. And enriched iron is put in the metallurgical infuser with charcoal. So if you remember the machines that I showed you downstairs, the last one was on carbon. That was basically just to make this enriched stuff. So that's done. Then the fission reactor port. So the fission reactor port is used to add and remove coolant, fuel, and waste. We need 4. We need 1 to get the fissile fuel in, 1 to get the waste, spent nuclear waste, 1 to input water, and 1 to export steam. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to say, logic, no. Oof, what are they called? Sometimes I just forget names. That's so annoying. They're called circuit. So I'm going to need 2 elite control circuit. Yeah. Just going to wait for them. And wait for them. Reactor. Yeah. So now that I take these 2 and I go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the 4 that we need. We're not going to need more than that. And now, okay. So basically, the reactor casing is going to make the whole outside frame, okay? The reactor glass is going to make the whole inside. And if I look at my list, you know what? Let's put another list right here. So for the 9x9x9 reactor, we're going to need 4 fission reactor port, 78 fission fuel assembly, 13 control rod assembly, 92 fission reactor casing, and 290 reactor glass. For the turbine, we're going to make a 5x5x9. We're going to need 78 turbine casing, 4 turbine valves, 12 turbine vents, 4 turbine rotors, 8 turbine blades, 1 rotational complex, 8 pressure dispersers, 9 electromagnetic coils, 9 saturating condenser, and 68 structural glass. So if I come back here, I want to make those 2. So I'm going to make fuel these first, the fission fuel assembly. So the fission fuel assembly are the one that they're the one that receive the fuel in them. So that I'm going to just put in here, and I'm just going to say make 1 for now. Perfect. And then we need the next one, which is the control rod assembly, and that's the one that actually does the control. It's the one that you put on top to insert or lower the insertion of a rod. So So I'm going to put that right here and also make one of these. So control rod, let's make just one. That's just to complete the quest, because once I go in my time lapse, I'm basically going to start all of these craft. Basically, I'm going to start the 92 fission reactor casing and the 290 reactor glass. I just wanted to show you. So once you're in the reactor, you put this down up to the top, but the last layer, you put this on top. This is what controls everything that's under, which is why you need all of that. Now, for the second part, I need to create a fission reactor. We're going to need steam. Let's say that we do have steam. And the only reason I'm unlocking this is that we get the turbine casing. That's the only one that in structural glass that I want to be able to make also in my time lapse. So I'm going to go right here and say turbine casing, like so. This is a much simpler recipe. And the other thing is structural glass. Structural glass. So structural glass is a bit weird. It's still against frame glass. Oh, just glass. Okay. I thought it was frame glass. Well, good if it's less complicated. So I'm just going to put these two in here and in here. And now we can start those. So these two, structural glass, I said I'm going to need 68. So let's start that right now. And look at this. It's so fast. That's not a problem. And then the turbine casing, I'm going to need 78. Same thing. Super fast. I'm going to put it back. Everything else I'm going to craft with you in the next episode. So for now, I wanted to start my reactor glass. And the reactor glass is... What's the reactor glass recipe again? Reactor glass, I just want to check. Yeah, okay. So the reactor glass, I want to make, I said, 290. Minus 4, because I already have 4. So 286, that's started. And the reactor casing, if you remember, that I need 78. So I need to start that right now, because look at everything it's going to need. It's going to need 19 steel casing. So I'm just going to start that. So now everything that I need for the next episode is crafting itself. So now I'm going to go into a very short time lapse. And the only thing I'm going to do in my time lapse is bring a cable to connect this and set the 3 export to make sure that we're exporting everything that we need here. So guys, we have our power plan. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, the next episode, we're going to put the power right here and we're just going to start everything. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.